and then he tells us, this is how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did it. When a person who follows another method, he opens that book, gets confused. Subhanallah, I'm a Hanafi. Throughout my life I was doing this, but now I learned that this is not this way. It's wrong. Hadith says something else. Another person picks up the book, I'm Maliki. And throughout our life we were following Malikis. And all of our families were Malikis. And all of our country are following the Maliki. But here, look, the Hadith says something different. One day a person came to me. We were having session of fiqh. And a person came to me. He presented a book to me. He says, look, this is the method of doing these things. So I said to him, the book has more than 200 pages. I have only one word that will just take all of that out. Your book will mean nothing anymore. And that is this is the only way that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, or there is another way too? That's it. The whole book is gone. Because there is another way. How come you don't write a book now, another book that brings the hadiths that are only the other type? You mentioned one type of hadith now. Bring the hadith now of the other type and present that book now to the people, that this is how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed these things. Would that be wrong? No. Then how come you're selecting this and misguiding everyone that this is what Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did and this is how we should do it? No. Tell people that these are umur ijtihadiyya. There is ijtihad in these issues. This is one opinion, there is another opinion, and there is a third opinion too. Why you are closing all of those doors and making it sound like this is the only way, and if you do it the other way, you are all committing sin. Then you are just following Imam, you are not following hadith, wal-iyazu billah. All that comes to, for example, a Hanafi will write a book and he will compile the hadith that are according to fiqh Hanafi, the proofs about fiqh Hanafi. Instead of calling ijtihadat of the Imam Abu Hanifa and the followers of the Maslak, if you would call it, that this is the Sharia of Islam. That's it. There is no other way. It will be wrong. Then a Shafi'i will come up with another book and he will bring all the proofs of the Shafi'i and he will say, this is the only way that we should be following Islam. That will be wrong. What he should say is, this is according to the Maslak of Shafi'i. A third person comes, fiqh Mali, he compiled, they all have a hadith. Their rulings are based on some ijtihadat from a hadith. They are not just these great ai*imma, they were not just making up out of their pockets. They have bases, they have rulings, they have things that follow. Now to take one of these, or mixture of these, according to my opinion, select one here, and I come up with a new book. That this is the way that we should do it. My only question when I get this type of question from people, my only question to them is, this is the only way, or there is another way that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did also? If there is another way, why are you telling people that this is the only way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? That is wrong. Tell people that there are different ways. This is the ijtihad of this imam. This is the ijtihad of this imam. That is the ijtihad of the third imam. So people are clear about it, that there is no difference in the deen, that deen is not dividing people, and we are there just because these are different opinions, and we have the right to follow any of these ijtihadat. When you follow mujtahid, follow him because you don't know the proofs. We are not mustambitin, and Quran says, when there is a mustambit, then you follow that mustambit, the one who would do the istinbat, and you follow your responsibilities, follow those. وَمَا كَانَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ لِيَنْفِرُوا كَافَّةً. It was not for the believers that all of them leave together. This is about, especially talking about the situation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and of course applicable till the Day of Judgment. That they should not all leave for jihad at once. Some of them should stay around Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam because they will be learning the deen of Allah from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَلَوْلَا نَفَرَ مِنْ كُلِّ فِرْقَةٍ مِّنْهُمْ طَائِفَةٍ. How come a small group doesn't leave out of every large group of people? out of every large group, there should be some group of people that should leave and the rest of them stay around the Prophet ﷺ. What is the responsibility who have stayed back now? لِيَتَفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ, so that they get the understanding of the deen. They learn the deen. Why? What's the next responsibility now? وَلِيُنذِرُوا قَوْمَهُمْ إِذَا رَجَعُوا إِلَيْهِمْ, so that they can warn their people, teach the other people who went out. When those people will come back, now these people who have learned will teach those, and their responsibility, when you come back from that work, you come and learn it from these people. Allah have divided the work, given responsibilities. Some people will learn, and then these ones who have learned, they will be teaching it to others. So, ijtihad is there. But there are rules of ijtihad, and there are ways of ijtihad. There are limitations for a mujtahid, and there are people who can do ijtihad, and the rest of the people who do not fall into the category of doing ijtihad, they are not of the level of ijtihad. Then their responsibility always to take the issues ila ulil amri minhum, to the people who are in charge. This is very clear in the light of Quran al-Kareem, and there are so many ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that also talk about it. But I'm sure if we just understand this ayah now, the way we have just looked at it, and just look at the wordings of the ayah and the message of the ayah, inshallah we'll have no doubt whatsoever about this field in our life, and we won't be making these major mistakes that we are making, which is putting people in a wrong position, because it's not a minor mistake to put that people into that wrong position. Number one, any wrong position, it's haram for us to intentionally and knowingly put person in a wrong position. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, إِذَا وُسِّدَ الْأَمْرُ إِلَىٰ غَيْرِ أَهْلِ فَانْتَظِرِ السَّاعَةِ. When the matter will be handed over to those who are non-deserving, then wait for the day of judgment. So this by itself is wrong. Number two, if a person who's not mujtahid will do the ijtihad, even if he gets it right, he's getting a sin. Because it was not his field. He really just put his opinion and it came out to be right. It just so happened that it turns out